Welcome to the Electric Playground. Today on the show, we prepare you for this weekend's San Diego Comic-Con in the Rundown.
Plus, the first Gears of War is getting an Ultimate Edition, and we've got a closer look.
Welcome back to the Army, soldier.
And then we join humanity's resistance against alien invaders in a new look at XCOM 2. Also coming up, we take a look back at the last turn-based XCOM game. Ben and Jose attempt to unravel her story, and much more today on EP Daily. Brought to you by EB Games. I'm your host, Victor Lucas, bringing you the latest in everything cool every single day. The annual San Diego Comic-Con kicks off today, but before we rush down to be there, we've got a show to deliver, starting with the Rundown. Yes, the San Diego Comic-Con officially kicks off today, and some of the world's biggest franchises will be there. A special panel on Star Wars The Force Awakens will take place tomorrow, making this the first time a new Star Wars movie has had a major presence at the event. Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice will also be getting a panel at the con, so fingers crossed for new footage from that. One big screen juggernaut that won't be at Comic-Con this year is Marvel. Although there will be plenty of Marvel comics, none of the new movies will be shown off, making this the first time the studio has skipped Comic-Con in years. We'll be on the floor of the event getting you the goods. Make sure you stay tuned for our coverage starting next week. And the San Diego Comic-Con isn't the only big con this week. The 4th annual Minecon just wrapped up, celebrating all things Minecraft. An all-new version of the game was announced called Minecraft Windows 10 Edition. As you might have guessed from the title, it's tailor-made for the new Windows 10 operating system and will run better than the previous versions. The beta begins on July 29th. That's not the only new Minecraft game on the way. Mojang and Telltale Games unveiled the first details on their episodic adventure game, Minecraft Story Mode. It will tell an original story in the blocky Minecraft world, focusing on a new character named Jesse, voiced by Patton Oswalt, who embarks on a heroic quest to save the universe from oblivion. The first episode of Minecraft Story Mode will launch soon on all major platforms. Minecraft's engine is revving up. Here to help me talk about that is Scott Jones. What do you think? Microsoft is making good on that $2 billion investment, I guess.
Congratulations to Microsoft.
Yeah.
I mean, Minecraft is still interesting. Somehow, this thing always has so much gas in the tank, and it's still got more miles on the odometer here.
Yeah, we know that there's a Minecraft movie that's on the way still, and I guess the story mode with Telltale Games is maybe, dipping a toe in to see what kind of appetite gamers have for something that sort of fleshes out a story and gives us more information that way.
I feel a little uncomfortable about a new story kind of growing out of this world, because what's been so appealing, what's been so fascinating for gamers is that they can make up whatever story they want to make. They can build whatever they want to make, and now trying to build these things, these characters into real characters, I think might be a step sideways or maybe even a step backwards.
Well, I think it's actually going to be an inspiration, because obviously there's a lot of Minecraft machinima out there, and I think people are going to look at the Telltale developed stuff and start to wrap their own thoughts around stories.
I'm not a fan of that.
You know what you've just done, right?
What did I do?
You just wrote your ticket to review the game with me. So look for that as soon as it comes out, okay?
Yes.
All right. Now, San Diego Comic-Con is in full force.
Oh, are you packed?
I'm packed. This is a big year. We've got Star Wars making its first appearance in a long time with JJ and company up on stage, taking us into the story a little bit. Nobody wants it to be spoiled, so they've got a fine line to cross here.
I think lots of interesting things are going to come out of this year's Comic-Con.
Yep.
I mean, the show is so huge now. I mean, you can't even get a ticket if you're just a normal person. You have to spend so much money. You have to make such an effort.
Yeah.
You have to book your hotel months in advance. I can't believe how high it is to get over this obstacle in front of you just to go to the show itself. Everyone wants to be there, and you left me home again.
I'm going to have a blast. I'm moderating a couple of panels, and it will be a big Batman year. It will be a big Star Wars year.
Listen, I hope it's a great show. I hope you get everything you wanted from it, and please bring me back a souvenir.
I will bring you back a toy. Something Batman related. But right now, we've got to go to Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Let's take a look.
What are you doing here?
Obviously, we have a lot of things to talk about, as you just got up on the big stage here at E3 and announced some cool stuff. With Gears of War, let's talk about the best Gears of War game possible. What does that even mean?
Well, what do you think it means? It means taking Gears further. Look at the Ultimate Edition. It's the first at its best. So it's 1080p, 60 frames per second multiplayer, loads of new content. We have over 5 new chapters. We got 19 DLC maps. Every asset, over 3,000 assets. Every single art asset was changed. Remo capped all the cinematics. It's not an up-res, it's a complete rebuilding of an entire game.
Welcome back to the Army, soldier.
Well, you guys have had to rebuild this thing because it's on the next-gen console now. So what does this mean for gamers out there that have picked up this game for their next gen? What does it mean for them?
Oh, it means they finally get to experience Gears 1 the way you really want to. You know, we have dedicated servers now and party-based matchmaking and all the stuff that a contemporary Gears game would be. And so I think what's great is it was 10 years ago that game came out. There are people who couldn't play it who are turning 18 now that was 8 years old when it first came out. There's people who have no idea what Gears 1 is, and now they get to experience it. And then to go from that into Gears 4, I mean, it's a great transition.
Is there an easier setting? Because I'm having a problem.
Well, that's one of the things we brought with the Ultimate Edition. We added casual. When we did 2 and 3, we added 4, we added another difficulty level. So everybody talked about in Gears of War 1, it was too hard, even on normal. So we've added a 4th difficulty, so now you can actually play on casual in Ultimate Edition. So there you go, just for you. I heard about it, that you had an issue, and
I did, because I'm always scared to jump online with other people, because I always get my ass handed to me. It's just a fact. I can't avoid it at all.
Right.
So tell me about multiplayer and what I can jump into.
Well, we have a whole bunch. Like, we're bringing back the modes that you're supposed to have in Gears of War 1, but we're bringing the modernization. We're taking the most popular way to play, which is Team Deathmatch, and we're bringing that in. And then we're taking the most competitive way to play, King of the Hill from Gears 3, and we're bringing that in. We even have a community build mode, which is 2v2. So you can actually have these 2v2 shotgun fights, which were designed by the community. We're putting that in the box. So you can have all of that. And what's really cool is this week we're releasing these tutorials on how to play the Ultimate Edition, and that'll teach you how to wall bounce and how to do all the stuff you need to do to be able to play Gears of War.
The name change. Why did we do it? What's with the name change?
Well, we wanted to represent more about what we were working on and who we were as a team. Black Tusk was a great name, and it really spoke to Vancouver. But when we thought about it, it was like, oh, let's look at 3 for 3 really speaks to Halo, Turn 10 really speaks to Forza. We need something that really represents Gears. And the Coalition sort of is part of that franchise, but also it represents who we are. Like, if you look at our team, it's a diverse set of individuals from around the world, and we all have one purpose, which is to make the best Gears of War game possible. So it was perfect.
That was awesome. Gears of War Ultimate Edition. I can't wait. Comes out in August.
That's right. Well, we've got our Carnage with that one. We've got our strategy with XCOM 2 after the break.
Welcome back to EP Daily. Marissa Roberto, pop quiz.
Ooh, I hate when you do
I gotta ask you a question. You gotta answer honestly. I'll know if you're lying. Are you a fan of the XCOM series? And don't lie to me.
When I was a young lass, I had a terrible nightmare, and aliens came and they were invading and going beep buddy.
I wonder what beep body means.
It means, Marissa, you can't like XCOM.
Well, one person who does like XCOM is Jose Sanchez. Here he is with the makers of XCOM 2.
Beep buddy.
I've heard enough. Signal gatecrasher. Take it down.
Garth and I decided it was time to build a better future together, and we are talking about XCOM 2, the highly anticipated sequel to XCOM Enemy Unknown. Tell me a little bit about what you guys are bringing brand spanking new into the world of XCOM with XCOM 2.
There is a lot brand spanking new. We are very, very excited. Brand new world. First of all, a lot of new design pillars. We have procedural maps, so you'll never see the same map twice. Procedural mission objectives, so the special missions that players may remember from Enemy Unknown, where you had to go do this specific thing, they're now layered on top and you don't know what you're gonna get and where on any mission type. So now you won't get that feeling of, I've seen this map before. It's gonna be different every time. We really wanted to increase replayability. The world takes place 20 years after the events of Enemy Unknown. So the setting is in the future, and the other twist with the narrative is that you lost. So you did not get to save the world in Enemy Unknown, which might be a little heartbreaking to some players, but it makes sense based off of all the testimonials we heard of players that lost the game. And you know, it really was an opportunity to stack the odds even more so against the player and say, you know what, you lost a lot when playing Enemy Unknown. Here, you have to rebuild the resistance. You're gonna have more odds stacked against you. Rebuild and galvanize XCOM and go save the world. We're PC only right now for XCOM 2. And we're doing that for a variety of reasons. Firaxis has a very strong pedigree in PC. And there are some other design features that we really wanted to push, such as modding. That's something that we did not get to do with Enemy Unknown. And there's a very, very talented, robust modding community out there. We're going to provide them with the tools through Steam Workshop to be able to create any worlds they want. And we want to see what sort of things can be built by the community.
And obviously, since, we lost the war, there's more than likely going to be some new villains that have decided to come out, maybe sink their teeth into us in this version of the game?
Yes, there are a lot of new villains. XCOM is all about a menagerie of aliens, and after you get sort of past the front of the advent, then there are these really, really creepy aliens that start coming out and trying to take down the Resistance themselves. We showed the Viper, which is an homage to the Snake Man from the original UFO Defense, and we finally got the Thin Man from Enemy Unknown to shed his skin and show his true form, which is this very, very terrifying unit that can yank you out of cover with her tongue at any time. She can bind you. She's very, very terrifying. You need group units to take them down. We have the evolved Sectoid, which has psionic abilities. So the Sectoid is no longer this little cute little gray alien. They're now about 7 feet tall. They're very imposing, and they're a lot tougher with their psionic abilities. They've had 20 years to evolve. They've had 20 years to get stronger. So it's going to be more of a challenge to the player. You really, really need group tactics and smart thinking to be able to take them down.
Great job, Jose Sanchez. So XCOM is behind us.
Yeah.
What's up ahead, Maris?
Well, more XCOM, Jones.
What?
Yeah, it's a classic review of XCOM Enemy Unknown with Ben Silverman and Jose Sanchez's bigger brother, Big Zay.
Big Zay.
If you want to know the truth behind this alien conspiracy, you're going to have to trust Agent Silverman and Agent Sanchez. What'd you think about this?
I thought this was going to be the first-person shooter XCOM game that I was hearing so much about, but no, this is turn-based strategy at its finest, my friend.
It sure is. Well, this is basically a spiritual remake or sort of an update to the original, very, very first XCOM game. They were able to take this very kind of confusing genre, and they were able to update it and make it both playable and I think better almost in some ways than the original game, which is considered a classic. I think this is a tremendous, tremendous game.
Incoming!
And I love also that, like the original XCOM, you've got this separate sort of metagame on top of that, where you're running this XCOM, alien unit. Yeah. If you don't go and actually, fight some aliens in certain parts of the world, they'll start to panic and they'll bail out of the Union. And if too many countries bail out of the Union, you pretty much lose the game. Yeah. You've screwed it up.
It's not an easy decision, Commander, but it's one you'll have to make.
So you've got to really manage just where you're going to fight aliens. You've got to manage your squad itself, and that has nothing to do with the actual part of the game that's the gameplay, where you hop in and you've got to fight aliens on these awesome maps. There's so much depth here to the strategy, so many ways to go, so many ways to play. I was just completely knocked out. And it's really all about finding cover spots. And there's elevations. You could just go on top of a building and shoot a guy.
Control up, move my guy down.
It works beautifully. I've never felt like I had so much easy control. And considering there's so much going on, you've got all these different characters that have different abilities. You've got medics, you've got support guys, you've got assault guys, you've got snipers. I think this is the other thing, is that it's all about not growing too attached to the guys in your squad.
Because they die.
They're gonna die. And you can rename them and stuff. I named my guys after everyone on Reviews on the Run. I had Fubar, I had Victor, I had Scott, I had Steve, I had Marissa, I had everybody on the team. And you know what? Sorry, most of you are dead. You're gonna have to deal with the loss of these characters. You could try to reload sometimes and you can save your game where you want.
Guilty.
But often, even then, there's just gonna be moments where you're gonna have to go, even though this guy's a colonel now or whatever, he's just gonna die.
Because the bad guys, they won't pop up in exactly the same spot. I learned that when my character died, and I was like, no, we're gonna rock through this together. They went around back this time, came around in the trees, and I was like, no, what? This isn't where you're supposed to be.
Smart alien behavior. They never
aliens. You're so wise.
They're smart. Look at their giant heads. They've got to be smart. You actually have to outthink the enemies here. The programming is seamless. So well done, the AI here. I just felt like everything about this game was beautifully designed, beautifully executed. I was shocked at how well they were able to take what is often just such a confusing gameplay system for people. And I think they just did a beautiful job of updating it without dumbing it down.
We hope that you are met with continued success.
Jose, what are you going to give XCOM Enemy Unknown?
I'm giving XCOM Enemy Unknown an 8.5 out of 10.
I'm going one better, my friend. 9.5 out of 10. Whoa. This is one of my favorite games of the year.
I like Jose's big brother, except I think regular size Jose is a little smarter, even if he doesn't eat quite as many hamburgers.
Oh, yeah, well, regular size Jose will be joining Ben Silverman again after the break with a review of her story. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to EP Daily. Because I review video games with Victor Lucas, I usually get dibs on some sweet games. But this time, Ben and Jose snaked one for me that I wanted. It's called Her Story. Let's take a closer look.
EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Asphalt 8 Airborne, which you can play on your Android or iOS device for free right now.
We are talking about one of the most unique games I have played, not just this year, but any year I've ever played video games. This is called Her Story. Ben, are you a fan of Her Story?
I'm a fan of great stories.
Yeah.
I'm also a fan of interesting stories, and I'm a fan of interesting storytelling. And that's exactly what Her Story is all about. This is a game that's been getting a tremendous amount of buzz on the Twitters. Everyone's been talking about it. I had to find out for myself. We had to find out. So I played this game on my iPhone. You can also play it on your PC if you've got Steam. I think it's a great fit for an iPhone because it's all about watching video.
Yeah, that's all it is.
So basically what happens is you turn on the game and it spits you right out into a desktop that looks like it's from a Windows 95 machine.
Yeah.
And you've got like a little database entry field that's got the word murder in it. You press search when it says murder, and then you get a bunch of video clips. And it's these video clips of a woman, and she's being investigated, she's being kind of interrogated and interviewed by the police. They're asking her a bunch of questions about a murder. So the first 5 videos come up, you watch them all, you're like, oh, that's pretty interesting. And then basically you have to decide where the story goes from there by typing in new search terms. And you get those search terms by watching these videos, and it'll kind of give you clues like, maybe I should put in Simon, that's her husband's name. What I love is that they tell the story in a non-linear way. I mean, you and I both played the game, and I can guarantee that we did not see this story the same way. Like, you were gonna type in search terms that were gonna yield certain videos. I was gonna do those in a different order, and you have to kind of try to piece it all together in your head.
I was playing it on my iOS, and that personal feeling of being like, I'm watching this video, I'm focusing on this video because maybe I should pay attention. It's not like in-depth kind of, I need to focus like LA Noire style on all the movements, subtle things, but you're like, really, like, you just find yourself diving deeper and deeper into this rabbit hole of information, and you can leave notes on comments on the videos that you watch. I'm like, she said something here, I'm gonna write this down in case I need it, and then that'll come up in a search engine when you search for things later. But you end up just clicking through constantly and trying to figure out, is there going to be a point where I do something about this, or is it just me to process all the information that I'm taking in? There's a whole database that tells you all the videos that you've unlocked, and there are like 200-300 of them or something.
There are a lot of videos in this game. And you know, I think is so interesting is that FMV, full motion video, is usually a joke when it comes to video games. You think of games like Sewer Shark or Mad Dog McCree, which you and I have reviewed 36 times. I mean, these are usually cheesy, corny experiences. It's an actor awkwardly talking into the camera at you. What's so great about Her Story is this actress really falls into this part. I mean, there's moments where she gets a little theatrical and she's obviously acting, but there's also moments where she's not.
And is she? That's the thing.
I don't know.
Is she just acting
because she be acting for the camp, right? Is she acting for you, or is she acting for the investigators? It's a really amazing experience because you just, as you said, you kind of fall into a rabbit hole and you start to feel like both a detective and a voyeur. And I just think it's a fascinating way of telling a story. The actress here, Viva Seifert is her name, she carries this whole thing. If you had an inferior actor trying to do this, if it was, for instance, me, I would not have been able to pull this off.
James Franco.
Kind of a Victor Lucas would not have been able to do it.
No.
Viva Seifert, I don't know who she is. She's, you know, obviously just really knocked it out of the park. Well, it's hard to score a game like this because it's not really a game, but I had a great experience. I'm giving that an 8.5 out of 10.
I'm giving it an 8.5 as well.
Oh, I knew it was going to be a good one. Don't go anywhere because you've got the Twitter question of the day after this.
If you want more EP, go to our website, epn.tv, for bonus content and full episodes. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. Welcome back to Electric Playground. It is time for our Twitter question of the day. This one's from Frank Estabrooks. Estab at 2002. Frank, 2001. Taken. What are your thoughts on Jason from Friday the 13th being in Mortal Kombat X? I personally love it. He's got a big exclamation mark right there. He's excited.
I love horror movies.
Yeah.
I don't really love the horror movies that have turned into franchises like the Friday the 13th franchise has. But you know, this seems typical for Mortal Kombat type stuff. stunt casting.
Yeah.
We get these characters from these B and C and D grade movies.
They had Kratos in there one year.
Well, that's the step forward, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know, who's next? Are we going to get Freddy Krueger? Are we going to get one of the creatures from that movie It Follows to follow all the other people around? Like, I don't know. Where does this stop at this point? It's not that exciting for me personally to spend money to get these characters.
It's Jason, though, that you're not excited about. I'm excited about Predator. I think the Predator being in Mortal Kombat.
I wasn't asking about the Predator.
Well,
I'm glad you're excited.
I'm excited about that. Okay. I think that's cool. All right, well, EP Daily is done for another day, but remember, you can get caught up on all kinds of great stuff on our website, epn.tv.
And we're already planning a new show for you tomorrow. It's all summer, all day long, so bring your sunblock. Thanks for watching, everybody.
We'll see you tomorrow. EP would like to thank its sponsors, Nintendo, Xbox.
Coming this summer, we've got Godzilla the game, we've got F1 2015, a terrific racing game, and we also have a series of really fun, more kid-like games, starting with Tearaway for the PlayStation 4. We've got Super Mario Maker for the Wii U, and last but not least, we've got the mighty number 9 from our old friend Keiji Inafune. And of course, as you can see, this is kind of a Mega Man homage. Yes, Keiji Inafune said he would never make another Mega Man, but instead he has made the mighty number 9. This obviously lifts a lot from the Mega Man series. It looks like a lot of fun. It's a heck of a lot of fun to play when I saw it at E3, and I can't wait for you guys to start playing it, and that'll happen in September. Now moving on into later September, we got lots of good things just in time for back to school season. I know it's going to be very distracting, very hard to concentrate on your studies. And one of those things that's going to make it challenging is Lego Dimensions. I know Victor Lucas cannot wait for this game to come out. Also, you've got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, which seeing Tony Hawk again in any season, summer, fall, spring, it doesn't matter. It's going to be awesome.